Do you ever feel like life is testing you with problems that don't seem to have solutions? Like every step forward is met with another roadblock, and you are left wondering if you will ever make sense of it all? I have been there, overwhelmed, stuck, and questioning if I would ever find clarity. But through those moments of struggle, I found a way to heal, grow, and rediscover my true self. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Breath Math. I'm your host, Nisha, and in today's episode, Life's Math, I will take you on a journey through my story, how I navigated life's complexities, overcame challenges, and found my own answers to healing. If you're new here, make sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss out on any of the inspiring stories and actionable insights we have coming your way. Grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Growing up, I was a quiet one, the kid who preferred observing from the sidelines rather than being in the spotlight. I was happy staying in my own little world. In that world, math was the century. Numbers didn't judge, they were logical, predictable, and always followed the rules. If I followed the steps, I would find the answers. The certainty made math my safe space. On the other hand, I loved sketching. It was my creative escape where I could express myself freely. But as puberty arrived, everything began to change. My period started, and I noticed they didn't follow a proper cycle. I started gaining weight, and my self esteem began to sink. Many of my classmates talked about their getting their periods every 28 to 38 days. But mine were unpredictable. I remember feeling confused and frustrated. Whenever I asked my mom or a doctor about it, the response was always the same. It's normal. I had the same problem. It will fix itself after marriage. Somewhere deep down, I knew something wasn't right with my body. But I was in 12th grade, and the pressure of board exams left me with no time to think about it. I pushed those worries aside and focused on surviving the chaos around me. The red race of board exams consumed me. The pressure to excel, to be the best, to secure a spot in a medical college, it was overwhelming. Like many others, I saw medicine as a noble and fulfilling career, and I worked hard to achieve that dream. But when the results of my 12th grade exams came in, my world came crashing down. I had scored far lower than I expected, and with that, my hopes of becoming a doctor were gone. Feeling lost and unsure about my future, I had to make a choice. Math, however, felt like the safest escape. It was familiar, logical, and something I excelled at effortlessly. So I chose math not out of passion, but because it gave me a sense of stability when everything else felt uncertain. Mumbai, the city of dreams. For me, it became a city of harsh lessons. I moved there full of hope, determined to build something for myself. But my first year was a series of crushing setbacks. I trusted the wrong people, was cheated in business. My finances crumbled. I lost my phone, struggled to pay the rent. And there were days when I didn't even have enough money for the food. I can still remember sitting in my tiny PG room, staring out at the city lights, feeling completely invisible. Depression took hold again, wrapping me in a fog I couldn't escape. One night, in utter despair, I called my mom. Through tears, I told her everything. Moms have the superpower to know exactly what you need, even when you don't. She listened patiently and then said, "Try Vipassana. It might help." I didn't know much about Vipassana then, except for two things. First, it didn't cost any money. Second, you couldn't talk for 10 days. The second point didn't bother me at all. I thought to myself, no talking, that's easy. I have already been doing this all my life. But honestly, I was so desperate for a change that I signed up for the 10 days course. Vipassana wasn't just about silence, it was about facing myself. For 10 days, I sat with my thoughts, my fears, and my pain. At first, it was excruciating. All the emotions I had buried for years came rushing to the surface. But as I persevered, I began to see the patterns. All wounds that hadn't healed, habits that no longer served me, and emotions that I needed to release. It was during this time that I realized how much I had neglected myself. I had spent so much energy trying to meet external expectation and suppressing my internal struggles that I had forgotten what it meant truly to care for myself. When the course ended, I felt lighter, like a weight I had been carrying for years had finally lifted. It wasn't just mental shift, it felt like I had been given a second chance to live with clarity and purpose. I still remember sitting at the railway station after Vipassana, feeling more peaceful than I had in years. Then, as if the universe was aligning everything for me, I received a call from Godrej, one of India's leading brands. They offered me a job. That call marked the end of my financial struggle and felt like a sign a new chapter in my life was about to begin. With the stability of my new job, I finally had the space to focus on my health. My instincts guided me to revisit an issue I had ignored for years: my irregular periods. This time, instead of brushing it off, I consulted an endocrinologist. Her advice was simple yet profound. While medication could provide a temporary fix, real healing would come from the lifestyle changes. Her words hit me hard, but they also gave me hope. I realized I had the power to take control of my health. I started with small changes. I revamped my diet, incorporating whole foods and cutting out junk. Then I took my first tentative steps towards fitness. Running seemed like the simplest option, but I quickly discovered how out of shape I was. I couldn't even last 20 seconds on the treadmill without gasping for an air. That moment was humbling. I could have given up, but something inside me refused. I started practicing yoga asana and pranayama to build my stamina and energy. Slowly but steadily, I improved. Within a few weeks, I was running 5 kilometers daily. The progress was exhilarating. I felt stronger, more energized, and more in tune with my body. By the end of 3 months, I had lost 7 kilograms. Running and yoga became my therapy, my meditation in motion. Every step, every pose, every breath reminded me of my resilience. Then came the ultimate milestone. I completed my first half marathon just 3 months later. Crossing that finish line wasn't just about the distance, it was about proving to myself that I was capable of transformation. What began as a journey to heal myself transformed into something much bigger. Friends and colleagues began noticing my transformation and asked me for tips on yoga, running, and healthy living. That's when I realized I had found my true calling. From my dream of becoming a doctor and helping people to thinking I couldn't teach because I lacked patience, to empowering women through business and blending logic with creativity and visual merchandising. Every step of my journey had been leading me to this point. Now, my purpose is clear to help others find their own answers, whether it's through yoga therapy, mindfulness, or simply sharing my story. I hope to inspire others to take the first step toward healing. Life still throws challenges my way, but my daily practice of Vipassana, yoga, and the love and support I receive from my students keep me grounded. If this story resonates with you or someone you know, I encourage you to share it. Healing begins with just one small step, and together we can find balance and clarity. No matter how complex life's equations may seem, the answers are within reach. You just need the right tools to solve them. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay mindful, stay healthy, and remember to breathe because every breath brings clarity. Namaste.